My name is Chantale Bégin. I'm a senior instructor in the Department of Integrative Biology. In this video, I want to share a couple of tips that I found useful for moving classes online. The first one is Panopto, which many will be familiar with. But for those who aren't, before I share what I've found for using Panopto online, I want to just share what Panopto is. It's a tool that you have in Canvas. It's not typically enabled. If it's not on your left side here, you have to go to Settings, and then Navigation here, and grab it from down here and drag it up here. And at that point, you'll have access to Panopto. If you go to the Panopto Cloud that I have right here, this is from a past class, so you can see that I've recorded past presentations with that. And the great thing about Panopto is that it records very, very easily in your classroom, and you can very easily upload to Canvas when you're done. And if we click on one of these, I've opened one of these here. This is what students get to see. One of the cool things about Panopto is that the students can watch the entire presentation if they'd like. But it also allows for students to search the presentation. So say that in this presentation on population ecology, a student remembers that they had a problem with the concept of net reproductive rate. This person can search this, and then this will tell the student exactly where they can go to review when we've talked about net reproductive rate, and they might want to contrast that with other concepts and then just search for that and just view the parts of the presentations that were the murkiest to them. So that has been a really successful thing in my classes. It's really hardly any extra work for me to do this, and then students have access to the recordings after the fact. The cool thing that I recently realized in terms of moving classes online is that now when you record classes, Panopto actually allows you to do a live webcast. And so this is when I open Panopto, this is the window that I see. It tells me right away that it's going to this folder because I opened it from Canvas. And because this is the case, it's going to upload to Canvas automatically at the end, so I don't need to spend any more time uploading it. It's just going to happen after class. If I click this thing here, Webcast, and I start this recording, what's going to happen is very quickly, it's going to give me this link here, which I can copy and share with the students. When you do that, I could just say, make an announcement in this class and tell students to go to this link, and it's going to be live streaming at that link. There is about a minute delay, so you have to be careful if you want students to really be in real time and say answering clicker questions in real time, then you have to keep in mind that there's going to be a slight delay for your students. But that could allow students who have to be quarantined or can't be in class for whatever reason to do class remotely while still interact with web-based clickers. So if I stop this here, it's going to take an extra minute. I'm going to tell it that I'm done, and this just tells me the progress we're making toward putting this online. So it's going to take just a few minutes. You do need to factor in an extra minute or two in your classroom at the end of your class to allow this to go online. But otherwise it goes online automatically, and it's great. The second tip I wanted to share has to do with quizzes in Canvas, because I find it really quite clunky to build exams in Canvas, and with more courses online, we're going to have more quizzes that are done through Canvas and remotely proctored via Proctorio. It's especially problematic if you have images like this. It's quite time consuming to upload those to individual questions. I also find it really problematic that when you have more than 25 questions, you can't show the question details, so it's really hard to review the exam to make sure that everything looks good. The only way to do that is to click on each one of the questions, and that's way more time consuming than it should be. So I build my exams in a program called Testgen. This is something that comes with Pearson textbooks, but you can build your own question banks. You don't have to use just the Pearson question banks. So you can make exams here. This is my some past exam that I've built here, just to backtrack a little bit here and show how amazing this software is. Once you have good question banks, I can build exams very, very quickly, like this. Choose the right chapters here. I'm going to select questions randomly in here. I could do all kinds of different things. For example, make sure that I choose this by, it's showing up on the different screen here, but I can choose this by learning objective. So I can say that I want 2 questions from this one and 3 questions from this one, or whatever it is. Let's just here go back to just all my multiple choice and just choose 40 questions randomly from that. And here I'm going to build an exam very quickly. So you can see that a lot of these questions have images, and this would be very time consuming to enter one by one in Canvas. What I can do from this point, I can save this, of course, but I can also export this as a Qti file. Again, it's showing up on the other screen, but here's my Qti file. And once I create this, let's just put this on my desktop. I'm going to have the Qti file made. I can just get back to Canvas. I'm going to probably upload this to a different class here. So right here you can say, go straight to settings, import course content, import a Qti file, which was on my desktop. And it imports it as a question bank. And it's going to be just going to take a minute here. So you import this question bank, and once this question bank has been created, you just go to your quiz, and you can see that already it created this quiz automatically. Now, one very weird thing happens when you do that. You're going to see that my 40 question quiz is worth 4 points. That's because by default, Canvas assigns each one of these questions to be worth 0.1 points, and that's probably not what you want. You can see that the image is uploaded, no problem. So if you want to do something different, you can cancel this here. If you want to do something different for point values, you can make a new quiz. And when you go to select the questions, you can find questions. And in here, you're going to have to go find your new question bank that you just uploaded, which is going to be under steer. I can select all of them. And I can say that this is a new group. And I'm going to pick all 40 of those questions, and I'm going to assign 1 point per question. And just like that, my exam has been created. I can go ahead and save and publish it and do all of the proctorio things that I need to do here. The other advantage to creating a question bank and then using the questions for the question bank is that it can randomize the order of the questions, or of course you could select some random questions, say select 30 questions out of 100 questions in the question banks. So this will save quite a bit of time when you make your proctorio online exams.